right, so it's hot outside, and we got Gregg Bowman in the house, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. He can help you. Of course, he's got a great team in this Tampa Bay region helping folks understand more about their cooling systems. And I can say from firsthand experience now that I had his team over, and they were very friendly. They did a great job, jumped up in the air handler area there and showed me what's going on, because I still have it. My builder didn't say, like, here's exactly what you want to look for, here's how you operate this system. Just kind of learned it.
Yeah, well, great. I'm glad to hear that our experience with you was a positive one. That's our goal. We want to make sure everybody's well taken care of, and that's what we strive for in every situation. So I thought it's a little bit late to probably be talking about it, but May is actually National Allergy and Asthma Awareness Month. Do it every year. The National Asthma and Allergy Awareness program sets up May because it is the time of year where most people are experiencing allergy symptoms from hay fever, those type of things. And a lot of people don't realize that is something that can really be addressed and improved in their indoor air quality through their air conditioning system.
That's interesting.
So yeah, definitely it's a time of year to think about that. With not only can we cool your home, but we can also treat the indoor air quality and improve that and help relieve some of those symptoms. So might not be able to help you when you're outside, but at least when you come in the house, can hopefully get rid of some of those symptoms for you.
Yeah, the indoor air quality is one of the things that people, it's kind of brushed over. I don't think it's talked about enough, or there's not enough awareness about the indoor air quality.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's known that the indoor air quality in our homes is up to 5 times more polluted than it is outside. The EPA has identified that and preached on that for years, but it's just kind of one of those things that we don't really think about until we start having symptoms, and then maybe we do. But we can definitely do things to improve that, that air quality. And some things that aren't really that expensive can be done to really make a huge improvement.
Yeah. I wonder how much the indoor air plants, like the plant, not air plants, but just having a plants in the house. My wife has one of those herb walls, or, where the plants kind of grow on the wall there on a vertical. So I wonder how much of that plays into it, and then what other recommendations you may have, Greg?
Yeah, I definitely think, anything you can do like that, if you've got a green thumb and can maintain that in your home, then yes, I think the plants are a great way to help with your indoor air quality, because they will take, the byproducts of our breathing inside the home and convert that back into the right products for us to breathe again. So definitely, and they filter the air too. So plants are definitely a great natural way to treat the air in our homes. But unless you've got a great green thumb and have a jungle growing in your home, there's probably some other steps that need to be taken, and we can definitely help with that. There's basically 3 areas that the EPA has identified, 3 what they call danger levels in the home. Okay. The first being dust and particulates, which we'd all be familiar with that when we have to dust our home. The dirt basically in the air that settles out of the air, that would be the dust and particulates. Second danger area would be the other thing we all know about, the big M word, mold, bioaerosols, bacteria in the air, viruses in the air. And then the final thing, which we don't often hear so much about, but that's the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds. It would be, we buy a new couch, and that smell coming off of that we appreciate, or the new carpet, when we put that down, we love the way that smells. That smell is actually a volatile organic compound, which can cause respiratory issues and things like that, depending on each person. So there are air quality products that treat all 3 of those areas. So there's things that we can do to identify those issues and then treat them.
Wow, that's interesting. I wonder if there's been any long-term studies done on people that utilize the products, because I've heard of the different infrared. Basically, it's a laser that runs through and kills a lot of those airborne illnesses that you mentioned, the mold, the viruses, some of those. So that would be one question there. Is I wonder if there's any long-term studies on that. And then secondly, one thing that my wife pointed out to me that I didn't really realize, I thought, you light a candle and it smells good, and she says, no, you're putting synthetics into the air. You're putting chemicals in the air. It's not good for you.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Your second point there about the candles, it is a thing that we have noticed that you've got to be careful with. We've gone into homes already where people have said, I went to change my filter and it was pitch black. It was filthy. What's going on? Wow. And it was candles, burning them. If you're not careful careful with a candle, they will soot as they're burning and produce a lot of carbon monoxide and soot products that get into the air, which then will show up on walls or in your filter or things like that. So, but yeah, those can be harmful. Some of the even just the products that make the home smell good,
like the Febreze
type stuff. Yeah, you got to be careful with that too. Too much of that can actually be harmful and a pollutant in the air, which can cause allergy issues or asthma issues or those type of symptoms. So it is definitely a area that I think we need more focus on and more study on. You mentioned about if there's any long-term studies. There are definitely studies about the effects of indoor air quality, but I don't know if there's any studies proving a good treatment method to do it. I mean, there are definitely products that have track records and they have studies attached to them of what they're attempting to treat, but as far as like going into a home and saying, well, this is the problem when we arrived, and now this is how it is when we're done. I don't know if there are any really long-term studies on that type of thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, got a great team here. Again, support the local economy and by supporting our local expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Here,
the lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Mary Cernicki, ladies first, Suncoast Roofing.
Well, we'd love for you to give us a call so we can send our estimators out to give you a roof checkup. It's hurricane season starts June 1st, and we'd love to get a crack at that before we get into a problem. And also, we'd love to tell you about our Roof for Troops program that we have with Suncoast Roofing and GAF as a Master Elite Installer. And we really appreciate your service. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay.
Well, just jumping off of what we were talking about earlier with indoor air quality, if you haven't taken a step in that direction yet, a good early step is just getting your air conditioner on a maintenance regimen. All the air in your home is traveling through that air conditioner on a regular basis, so a lot of signs of indoor air quality issues will show up inside the air handler. So when my guys are out there doing a maintenance, they can see if you've got particulate problems. They can see if you've got bioaerosols or molds or mildews going on. It'll show up in the air handler. So we have a great program for that, our VIP program. It's $14 a month, and we come out twice a year, service your air conditioner at no additional cost, go through the entire system, make sure everything's clean and operating the way it should. And you get some other benefits with that as well. No overtime or after hours charges. And discounts on parts and repairs. So that's a great program way to get a jump on taking care of your air conditioner and getting an early view if you do have any indoor air quality problems.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a no-brainer. VIP program, $14 a month. ACGuyofTampa.com is the website.
Correct.
ACGuyofTampa.com. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy.
Well, I think this hurricane thing really affects all of Florida and every one of our businesses, everyone that lives in Florida. So don't be that person that waits that last second to get your supplies that you need. We have at Florida Firearms Academy flashlights, med kits, everything basically you need. But also, you need to go, if you're not near us, go to this place and get it already before it's all gone. We also sell this stuff. It's called looter repellent. It's called ammunition. We sell that at the stores as well. Make sure you get these things before it's too late where you can't go out there. Remember,
personal protection is a big deal.
It is a big deal. But remember, like even food, they want you to have at least 7 days worth of food. So if during the hurricane week, if one's actually coming, you go to Publix, there's nothing on the shelves there. You can't even buy the water there. So make sure you get these empty jugs now. Prepare for it. Just like in any kind of situation where if there's a fire, you got to have a plan. If there's a hurricane, if you don't have a plan, you're going to be stuck out there in traffic with nothing or whatever it may be. Just like in a home invasion, if you're not taking classes with us or someone else that actually trains these things, it could be a bad situation for you. Get the training, get the planning that you need for any kind of situation, so you're going to be prepared for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything from your backup batteries, your cassette radio, or not cassette radio,
Your ham radios,
handheld radio, can openers, things that you wouldn't necessarily think about. Have those ready. Have them in a bag. Have them right next to the door. Whatever the case is, get that ready to go for this time of year because, this, like Thomas said, is nothing worse than rushing around and, worrying about it because you got other stuff that's coming up too.
Yeah, you never know. A tornado can come through and it happens in a second. You know what I mean?
It's
and then all of
gone.
a sudden you're in a looting situation or you're in
That's right.
a personal protection kind of thing where you have to protect yourself and your family.
That's right.
You have to know how to do that safely.
Yeah. So I saw something just happened in Ohio or yesterday or the day before. All right, let's do another round here. So top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, Mary Cernicki.
Make sure you're using a licensed contractor and make sure that you're checking their references and their sources because it's very important. You could have somebody come knock on the door and give you the best deal, but they're not a licensed contractor. They're not going to be there if there's an issue and a problem.
That's scary too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of times these guys are walking up acting like they're contractors, seeing what they can get away with no intentions of actually doing the work, seeing if they could walk away with a deposit check, also casing the house out to come back and try to rob it later.
Yeah.
True story, especially in some of these hurricane situations that I've seen in the last few years. It's a serious situation. People are really taken advantage of. And I know we all want to save $1 here or there, but you know what? Have a licensed contractor, verify the information and make sure that know what you're getting. You know what I mean? Make sure that if it's too good to be true, let's just check it.
I bet you know a lot of horror stories in that too.
Sunbiz.org, one of the best places to check for the business name
absolutely.
and just do some research. Yep.
Yeah.
Gregg Bowman, the AC guy.
Yeah, I want to just echo off of that because we run into that so much. But taking it just a step further, and even if they are a licensed contractor, making sure that they're a legitimate licensed contractor. There are startups in the air conditioning business all the time. They will grab their license and they're in and out of business in a year or two. So
and your building codes have changed this year.
yeah, everything. I mean, the building codes change every couple years. So just because they have a license doesn't mean that they still are going to do the job that you really want. We go behind so many situations where a customer may have had us out for the bid. We might have been $500 higher, so they went with somebody else, and then they call us back a year or two later, and they're like, "We should have used you guys." So and there's messes to clean up. So just making sure you look at the track record of who you're dealing with, look at their reviews online, look at the guarantees, the warranties that they're offering. Make sure that you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, we had a client with a similar situation. They utilized refurbished products, old products. They recycled them, put them back into the unit, and of course it didn't work very long.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times that people thought they bought a new air conditioner and it wasn't. So.
Saving money. Any way that they can skim and save money.
Yeah.
Thomas King, Florida Firearms.
I'll just piggyback off of that. If you're getting firearm training, make sure that the person that you're getting training with is a certified instructor. Make sure they know what they're doing. There's a lot of fly-by-night people that go out there and say, yeah, I'm certified, and you pay this money, and now you can't get your CWP license. Or it's a 15-minute class, which is illegal to do these kind of things. And they're out of the money. Just like if you bought, I've heard people put all this money down on a roof, and next thing you know, this guy's gone. And now you're all out that money, and
That's
also you don't even have a roof there. So make sure you do your due diligence on who you're training with, what kind of products you're buying. Make sure you're not the one getting taken care of and messed over with. And that's why we're here on your Consumer Quarterback Show.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Great show today. Great lineup here. Companies that really want to help you. And that's what we set up the show for, again, almost 6 years ago now, where it's a consumer advocate-based program. All you have to do is reach out to us, and we're going to put you in contact with the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that they take time out of their busy schedules to come in to the radio show and serve as a consumer advocate. So reach out on our hotline. Check out the website, consumerqb.com. You can link up with us on social media as well. We'd love to connect with you there. And another great show. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, Mary Cernicki, Suncoast Roofing, and shout out to Chuck Peterson as well.
Absolutely.
And Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, always dropping that great nuggets of advice and just words of wisdom. Especially, you want to be careful about this red flag law out there. We want you reaching out and shaking up some people on that one. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, and hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community and do something kind for one another. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.